Emma Vigeland of Rebel Headquarters asked Amy Klobuchar a great and substantive question here, and Amy reminded us why she's terrible, and she's polling very low.
Senator, I spoke to some of your supporters outside, and they really liked that you were a more moderate candidate compared to the other ones. But with the Green New Deal, with Medicare for All, these issues polling so well with the Democratic constituency, how do you plan on overcoming that and winning this primary?
Okay, so I consider myself a progressive in one important way. I like to make progress. I am the candidate that you'll see on that debate stage that has passed over 100 bills as a senator as the lead Democrat in just the last few years, including 34 since Donald Trump has been president. I do believe I may be more moderate in tone than some of the people running for office, but I am betting that people don't want the loudest voice anymore. They've had that right now. That's the guy in the White House. That they want someone who's going to be honest with them and tell them that, no, we're not going to erase rich kids' college debt. We're not going to do that, even though some of my opponents have put that forward as their proposal, because that's actually going to hurt the very people that we want to help and put more debt on their shoulders. That we're going to do something to bring down healthcare costs, and we're going to do it a smart way by having a public option so that we have a non-profit competitive option to the insurance options that are out there, and that we will do no harm to people who want to keep their own current insurance. Because under some of the plans out there, on page 8 of one of them, it actually says they would dismantle our entire healthcare system in 4 years. So no, I'm not for those. I don't think those are bold ideas. I think what's bold is actually getting something done for the people of this country. So when they say that, that's fine. People can call me whatever they want. It is true I don't swear in public a lot. I'll put it out there. But I think that a moderate tone and someone who's willing to speak honestly is exactly what this country wants right now.
So why are you polling at 1%? If you're exactly what the country wants right now, why are you at 1%? Why is Delaney at 1%? Come to think of it, why is almost everybody, except the person with the most name recognition, who reps that ideology, polling incredibly low? Question to ponder there, Amy Klobuchar. Okay, so there's a lot about this answer that pisses me off. And the thing that I still can't get over is this very basic fact that you'll notice this too. Pay close attention to when all of the centrists running make their arguments, because I guarantee you, it's like it's written in the laws of nature that they are fundamentally incapable of just telling you what they're for and making an argument in favor of what they're for. They can't do it. She can't go out there and, in an answer, only talk about, hey, listen, here's my idea, here's what I'm in favor of, and here's why this is better. She can't do it. Now, compare and contrast that with Bernie. When Bernie gives a speech, when Bernie's asked a question, he can answer by only talking about the things he's in favor of. In fact, he tries to do that. Bernie makes a point of not trying to not go negative on other candidates. Now, I'd argue in some instances he probably should go negative on other candidates, but he presents a positive vision for everybody, and in reality, that vision is what's called a social democratic vision. It's a mixed market economy. It's moving in a further left direction where you take basics off the table. It's a very appealing vision. And he makes the argument. He can do it in a succinct way. People understand it. People like it. You will never hear any centrist candidate go out there and argue for their position without also spending at least like 30% of the time, usually over 50% of the time, just telling you what they're not in favor of. Bernie doesn't have to do that with their shitty ideas because they don't have any ideas. He doesn't have to, and here's why I'm against their idea. No, he just tells you, I'm in favor of a Medicare for All system. I'm in favor of free college. I'm in favor of eliminating student loan debt. I'm in favor of legalized marijuana. I'm in favor of ending the wars. All he does is tell you what he's for. He's giving you a positive vision. All the centrists, Delaney and Klobuchar are the most. They have to tell you every time they talk, I'm against universal health care. I'm only for a public option. I'm against, what does she say? I'm against erasing rich kid student loan debt. Listen, look at how Weasley their framing is. They can't just be honest and say Bernie Sanders is in favor of eliminating all student loan debt. They can't be honest and say that because that makes it sound appealing. So what do? Fudge it a little. Lie a little. Highlight a part of it that you think is negative. By the way, you could use that argument to stop all progress. Well, I'm not in favor of giving a guaranteed payment to older rich people. What? Oh, you're talking about Social Security? Yeah, because even rich folks get Social Security because it's a universal program. But if you frame it like that, I'm against giving payments to older rich people. Why are you in favor of it? Because it's a universal program and it's wildly successful in reducing poverty, and you're just using the fact that some rich people get it to gaslight everybody else so you don't have to give it to the poor people either. So it's disingenuous, man. She's always going to tell, I'm against this, I'm against this, I'm against that, I'm against that. It's the same Delaney. I'm in favor of real solutions, not impossible promises. You have to stop calling it impossible promises when every other developed country has these things. You can't say it's impossible. We know it's possible. Other countries have done it, and it's been wildly successful. So it's so frustrating because at the same time that we can't do this, we can't do this, we can't do this, these same assholes turn around, and Biden did this the other day. He said, we're America. We can do anything because we're America. Except apparently Medicare for all. We can't do that because you say we can't do that. Except apparently free college and eliminating student loan debt. We can't do that because you say we can't do that. So it's just whenever it's convenient, they'll say, we're America, we can do anything. But then when you say, well, how about Medicare for all? Nah, I don't know about that one. Come on, bro. What the fuck? I mean, they're so full of shit, man. She goes, I like to make progress. Congratulations. You want a pat on the back? Everybody's in favor of new policies. I mean, you could argue some conservatives are like, just do absolutely nothing. But everybody's in favor of something. The question is, what kind of progress? Are we progressing to a slightly different neoliberal system, or are we progressing towards a social democracy? Those are very different things. And then she argues, well, I pass a lot of bills. What's in the bills? What's in the bills? Is it Wall Street deregulation? Probably. That's probably what she means. Yeah, you can get along with Republicans and deregulate Wall Street. That's a bad idea. Is it a new war? That's a bad idea. Just because you pass a lot of bills isn't by definition a good thing. It depends what's in the goddamn bills. And then she goes on to say, this is totally made up. People don't want the loudest voice. Well, Donald Trump won. He's the loudest voice. Bernie Sanders has the most grassroots support. He's a loud voice. Perhaps you're just wrong. And perhaps your mild-mannered nonsense is not getting you anywhere. People don't want the loudest voice. She's just making stuff up and saying, well, I think people don't want that. Well, then why are you at 1%? It's just... And then finally, and this is the most important point, it's funny because these centrist Democrats sound a lot like Republicans, don't they? And you heard it at the end there. They want to dismantle our entire healthcare system. He never said dismantle our entire healthcare system. Biden has put forth this lie too, this idea that, and he did it in an ad where he's exploiting his son's death, man, for political reasons. They try to pretend like everybody in favor of Medicare for all is first in favor of repealing Obamacare and then moving to a Medicare for all system. No, Bernie Sanders and everybody who supports Medicare for all, nobody has ever said, first we repeal Obamacare, then we do that. No, it's viewed as the next logical step, the logical progression. So, okay, we took one step in the right direction, Obamacare, that was better than nothing. Then from there you evolve over a 2-year period or 4-year period, depending on which bill you look at, the Jayapal or Bernie, and you go from that to a public option to Medicare for all. That's the logical progression. But they act like that's not a progression. You're repealing Obamacare, so you're just anti-Obamacare. You want to take everybody's healthcare away. You want to, quote, dismantle our entire healthcare system. No, they want to make it better, and they want to give everybody healthcare. These are disingenuous talking points, man. They're lies, and they sound a hell of a lot like the Republicans. So again, Amy, maybe that's why you're at 1%. You should stop embarrassing yourself and drop out because your ideology is not the ideology of the future. It's the ideology of the past. And that's why Donald Trump is president.